Resist techniques are some of my favorite decorative techniques to do. For example, this bowl had tape, hole punches, and dots put on it. Glaze was applied, and then that was pulled up. The area that resisted the glaze is the color of the clay, and then you have the glaze on the outside. So today we're going to do a very simple resist technique. I like to take a scrap of paper, and I like to cut a shape out of it. Any shape will do for this. You don't have to fold it like this to cut the shape, but I find that my shapes are more interesting when I do this. Almost like if I was making a snowflake. If you want to just cut out a square, you can. That is acceptable too. I like to cut out the center of this because I like the way they look when they're opened up like that. So then you take your paper piece, you've put down a layer of glaze already on your tile. You have to get your paper piece kind of wet, not soaking wet, but it's kind of a trick to get it to actually stick, otherwise just laying the paper on it moves around. So I want to get it to momentarily stay, and then I'm going to take another glaze, a darker glaze, and put it on top. When you do this, you need to start from the center and move out. And that paper is blocking this black glaze from covering up the area underneath it. Notice how I'm starting and having my brush strokes radiate out. That will allow the paper piece to stay in place. It's really frustrating if you're doing this and the paper is jumping around. The water also helps seal the paper onto your tile. Okay, so now I'm going to give that a moment to dry up a bit. If I let it dry overnight and I go to peel the paper off, the glaze is too dry and sometimes the paper rips and won't allow you peeling that up. But just give it a couple minutes. In the meantime, here's an example of one that a lot of overlapping was done, and there's different colors. This one I believed used Elements glazes. And then if you really like this resist technique, you can use this product called Mask and Peel. It's a little bit difficult to use, but you can paint it on and then peel it up after you put down the glaze. I get a lot of really cool techniques and prefer using that in my own work. However, grab a hold of that paper. It's kind of difficult. Sometimes a mechanical pencil is awesome. Peel it up. You can see right here where my paper wasn't fully stuck on and how some of that glaze bled through, so be careful of that in your own work. Then I'd put this to fire and the plum blush is going to show through with this black detail on the outside. You can also do more than one layer of this, but for this station activity I expect 2 layers of glaze with the paper design in between. Have fun!